Okay. You can still hear me?
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Perfectly.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for bearing with me. We had some audio difficulty, but we're live now. So we've got a workout today. I'll just jump right into it. The workout is, as you guys can see in the lower left-hand corner, we got the strength component, which is every 80 seconds, we're going to do 3 push press. And a push press is, just a reminder, with a bar here, we're going to do a quick dip drive and straight up overhead. Okay, so 3 of these every 80 seconds. So we'll have probably about a minute of rest between each round. Secondly, we're going to have a Metcon, which is 7 rounds of 30 seconds of thrusters. And a thruster is basically either with a barbell or dumbbells. In this case, we're using dumbbells. Full front squat into a push press. So we're going to do basically as many of those as we possibly can in 30 seconds. And then switching right to burpees. So 30 seconds of burpees. All the way down, jump overhead, clap at the top, and do as many of those for 30 seconds as we can as well, followed by 30 seconds of rest. So that whole section, 30, 30, 30 seconds, is going to be repeated for a total of 7 times, and that's the workout. Make sense, Sid?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. So let's get into the warm-up. So what we're going to do for the warm-up is get just some of our hips, our shoulders warmed up. And so we'll just take a wide stance. So we're going to start with what I like to call the founder stretch. So basically we're going to hinge at the hips. So you can see it from a side angle here. My back is straight, and I'm going to just reach out as far as I can, keeping my elbow pits up. And this is kind of my starting position. And so from here, I'm actually going to bend at my low back. Normally we don't do this when we're weightlifting, but in this case, I kind of want to be able to warm that low back up. So draping all the way down to the ground, coming back up again. So that would be 1 rep. We're going to do 5 of these in the center. So this is 1 for me. All the way down. Trying to hinge at the hips as much as possible, keeping those legs straight. You're going to feel it likely in your hamstrings and your low back. You're probably also going to feel them in your shoulders too as you're externally rotating your arms. All right. When you're done with 5, you can go ahead and switch sides here. So we're basically going to do, if I was to kind of do this facing forward in the middle, I basically pivot to one side and basically do the same exact thing. But now I have one leg extended and the other one back. We're really going to feel it in that front hamstring, front glute, and then also the lower back on the opposite side. Awesome. 5 on that side. Switch over. 5 on the other side. This one doesn't really get easier the more you do it.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I know, right? Awesome. So 5, 5, 5. Then we're going to go switch to these 5 downward dogs to 5 up dogs. Okay, so if in yoga you're kind of used to a downward dog, we're going to just go from here into a push-up position, the bottom of a push-up position, and then into an up dog. Okay, so pretty similar to what you would do in yoga. And then we got our down dog again. We'll do 5 of these. To whatever extent you can, see if you can initiate this movement actually in your shoulders rather than your hips. Really warm those shoulders up. Excellent. All right, then the last one we're going to do, or second to last one, we got shoulder taps. So we're going to get into a plank position. So as if we're doing a push-up, right? And then we're just going to do 10 shoulder taps. So what that looks like is just, I'm going to kind of lift one arm up, and then basically tap the other shoulder. Okay, so we're gonna do 10 of these, so 5 on each side. And to whatever extent you can, try to keep your hips relatively stable as that happens. This can be a difficult one. How's that feel, Sid?
Good.
Chilling in that down dog a little bit?
Yeah, I got them done.
Cool. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Did you get the shoulder taps as well?
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, so now we're gonna just do 5 jump squats. So full squat, boom, coming up into a jump. 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Good job. Excellent. Great. Now we're going to repeat this whole sequence one more time, starting with the founders. So hinge hips all the way up. Really trying to get quite warm on this one, especially with burpees. Burpees and thrusters can be, they're a brutal combo, and we want to be pretty decently warm when we do them. Very good. Down dogs, top dogs.
Okay.
Excellent. Then when you're done with those, get 10 more shoulder taps. Awesome job, Sid. Cool. All right, then 5 more jump squats. Try and keep that chest up. You can get all the way down. Awesome. Feeling pretty warm, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so basically what we're going to do now is I'm going to put a timer on. And so what I'm going to suggest that we do, it was going to be basically a 7-minute timer. And so the reason is that I want to have basically 7 minutes to do, let's see if I can get we'll do a cyan, no, blue. Magenta, we're gonna go magenta today.
Nice.
So we got 7 minutes on the clock, and what we're gonna do is just 7 minutes to warm up our, basically to do some mobility work. So what I would suggest is we're gonna take a bar, if you have either a bar or a lacrosse ball, and basically we're gonna spend about 7 minutes just rolling out wherever it makes sense to us. So I would suggest, either shoulders are good, lats as well for the push press. Those will help you get, a better range of motion overhead. Otherwise, for a lot of people, we need some help on the IT band. So yeah, if you want to just go for it, go for it. A lot of people also want some IT band help. So starting on the sides, your tensor fascia latae here, the hip muscle that kind of allows you to keep stability, not allow your hips to drop. That can kind of get tight, and then it can also send some, some issues down the lateral sides of your thighs, maybe rolling those out. Then finally, what a lot of people end up doing is, especially if we're going to go do some thrusters, we want to have enough ankle mobility in order to get down into a full squat. And so getting those calves as well. So we're going to just spend 7 minutes. I'm going to start the clock now. Just allowing us to get into whatever the zones are for us, where it's kind of the most painful, tender, whatever. I don't want to necessarily make it super prescriptive, because everyone's going to be different here. For myself and for Sid was mentioning, for instance, that his shoulders were pretty painful today, and so he might want to spend some more time working on the shoulders, where you might want to spend more time working on the legs. What I would suggest, though, is to just keep an eye on the clock and make sure that whatever you're doing, try to make it bilateral. So if you're going to spend 3.5 minutes on the left side, try to spend 3.5 minutes on the right side, unless you have an injury or whatever that that is actually on a particular side. Just bias to whatever you need. If I can get a better angle for this. Cool. Yeah, much better. How you feeling, Sid?
Wow.
Shitty?
Legs. Yeah, I could do this for like 2 minutes on each muscle. This could easily be a 20-minute thing.
I
But
know,
yeah,
right?
it's perfect
Yes.
for a warm-up.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, that's why I want to, last time we did this, I was feeling like it was slightly too prescriptive, in the sense of like, I don't know for whatever other people need help with. But obviously I think, I think you're right. Like, spending a decent amount of time on this is good. And we may not in class here spend 20 minutes on this, but I would highly encourage, if anyone has extra time post workout, do you feel like you are not getting if you still have sore spots, spend 5-6 minutes after a workout just hitting those spots that are you. We're doing this in a remote setting. It's important, I think, to kind of do a lot of this rehab work in order to prevent injuries before they happen, because if you don't have a coach who's able to perform at every moment of the day, it's important to kind of be your own to prevent these things from happening. The outside of my shins need some help. Whenever I get into heavy squats, that's the thing that ends up giving me some issues the most. Both of us are using bars, though. If you have a lacrosse ball, highly recommend that as well. Sid, if you remember last time, we did those push press, and for you, you found that those lats, if you kind of go on your bar and basically kind of go side to side, right below
Yeah.
your shoulder blade. That position for you was really helpful for being able to get your full range of motion overhead. That's the same with a lot of people. We have generally very tight lats, and that can
Hmm.
be restrictive in an overhead position.
Ah. Ooh. 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 Wow.
I realize actually this particular position that I'm in is not just getting lats; it's also getting some of um, the rotator cuff as well as the serratus anterior, which I'm a big fan of getting as well. The other thing is that when we start getting into this strength component of the workout, we're going to be working for about probably 20 seconds, and then we're resting for another 60 seconds. So, you know, if it only takes you, let's say, another 15 seconds to like put on more weight, for instance, instead of just passively resting, especially in the beginning rounds, if you have the energy for it, doing additional mobility work in between your sets can also be a really effective way to improve your form actually as the sets go on.
Ooh. Mm. Ooh.
Oh, it looks like the timer went off, but it didn't actually make a sound. I thought it would make sound. I'll just have to keep that in mind next time. Okay, all good.
Okay.
How you feeling? A little bit
Oh
more
man.
loose?
Yeah, I feel like I could do that for 20 minutes is what I feel like.
Totally. Well,
But that
what we
felt
can
great.
do, yeah, exactly. Well, we can definitely add it in more, and then I would say once again for you, Sid, if um, you can also do it during the strength component too. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So we'll see how this works in terms of a camera angle. Okay. So I'm just going to step to the side. We're going to kind of step into this technique / strength component of the workout. So like I said before, we are doing a push press. And what a push press is short, shallow, quick dip and drive into a push, well, into basically a press overhead. Okay. So important things to note here. Number one, my elbows are down. So I'm not up here. This isn't a front squat. Um, Secondly, when I'm dipping and driving, I'm I'm not like squatting. I'm not sending my hips back. I'm actually keeping my hips directly below. I'm dropping straight down, and my knees are actually coming forward. So, and because I'm only going down a little bit, this isn't an issue. So I'm then gonna do a quick pop and press that bar overhead. When I do this, I also want to make sure, if I can, to keep the elbows forward. So I want to, and what that's going to do by just intending that my elbows are forward, this way rather than out like this, what it forces is basically I'm using my serratus anterior, which are the muscles in that basically connect the scapula, the shoulder blades, to the rib cage, basically. And so that's going to be a much more solid position. You may find that you don't quite have as much mobility to get those elbows totally forward. Not an issue, but I would at least try to make sure that you are actually keeping those elbows forward, even if you feel like the movement itself isn't really encumbered in any way, especially on the way down. Try to keep those elbows in, because for a lot of people, basically we have kind of a rounded shoulder for most of our day as we're kind of sitting at a computer or whatever. And so being able to actually have more of a external rotation, it's going to put our shoulders in a good spot. Does that make sense, Sid?
Yep. And so
Cool.
you do that by when you're facing forward, you want the elbows like this.
Yeah. So as I'm coming here, I'm going to just keep those elbows in as I press up overhead.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not caving in here, but I'm actually more, shoulders back and down. And then as I press up, I'm keeping my elbows in rather than splaying out like this, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Cool. So, and that position is hard for me to see you. I can't really, I'm curious if there's any other.
Yep. Definitely.
Cool. Sweet. And I'm also going to take this down. We don't need this anymore. We also actually don't need this anymore. We really only need the strength component of the workout up at the moment. So I'll put that in here. Cool. So for anyone else, if you want to just go ahead and start warming up on this, what you can also do as well is just start warming up on, strict presses to give your shoulders a bit of a chance to warm up. And then moving into push press.
Can you see me now?
I can, yes. Much better. Thank you.
So
cool. And if at the top, if you're able to, see if you can tuck your chest so that you're not arching at your low back. It requires a little bit more mobility in the shoulders, so no worries. And what you can do probably is between your sets, maybe work on those shoulders and lats, because that'll help you as well. That's better. Yeah. Okay, cool. Very good. Okay, sweet. So, Sid, what are you going to do in terms of, so what I would suggest is for the next, basically, if we're going to do 7 rounds of this, we're going to increase weight. Probably by about set 4, we should be at the weight that we're eventually going to stay at. So the first 3 sets or so should be relative, warm-ups, but I would say, we can even start the first one, still relatively heavy. So for you, whether you're putting 10, 15 on either side, and seeing how that feels, as a warm up, and then we can kind of start from there. Cool?
yeah, sounds good.
Sweet. I'm going to do the same, and then we'll sort of intend to start this timer in, we'll say 2 minutes.
I'm gonna go up by 5 pounds each time.
Okay.
Maybe 10 pounds each time, yeah. But Oof.
Wait, 85 are those two 210s? What was that?
Yo. Yeah. Wednesdays at I'm just doing a live stream. Yeah. But can we connect? Can you connect us on WhatsApp? Do you have WhatsApp? Yeah, man. So we do Wednesdays at Academy Del Mar. Get my WhatsApp before you leave. Yeah. I'll send you the details. Yeah, it's proper cleats, proper game, 9 on 9, 10 on 10. Sometimes it's good. Yeah. Hey, Connor. Sorry about that, bud.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We know that you're really popular.
So I just threw 10s on either side.
Okay, cool.
I'm at 65 right now.
Cool. All right, so why don't we say
back on.
Nice.
So I'm at 75.
Okay. Let's say that we'll start our first round in about a minute or so. Do you have the weights on for that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to put my weight on. I'll just start at 135 and go up there. And then we'll put our timer on. Cool. See if I can get this one set up. So. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can go boop. And here we go. So you can see all of us, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So first round of 7. So we're going to do 3 push press each time, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Let's see if we can keep the weight on the heels as they're going up. And if you need some help with that, maybe spend some time after if you are going to go up and put the weight on first, and then spend some time on, well, I guess you don't have the lacrosse ball, but what I might suggest is what you can do is actually kind of drape your arms over the bar and actually do a bit of a bar kind of scapula massage even as the bar is here. So something like that. I don't know if you can see it with the plates in the way, but you can kind of do a little bit of that like in between your sets if you want to.
I see, massage it out,
2.
just hanging from it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there we go. That makes sense. And next round. Cool. Good.
Here, Connor, we'll swap numbers quick. Give me one.
You're just gonna do what?
No, I'm gonna wait. One sec.
Cool. All right. Round 3 coming up. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Good. My position is just a bit different. Okay. This whole camera thing, it's so weird to work out with a camera. Cool. Okay, round 4 coming up. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Go for it.
Ready.
Nice, Sid. You got it. Good. All right.
What's your
20
weight?
more seconds. I'm at 165 right now.
Yeah.
I'll probably just go up to 170 here. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go for it. Here we go. Nice job. Good. Excellent.
So I'm at 15, 30, 40, 50. I'm at 105.
Nice. Very good. Yeah.
So that's where I'll do it today.
Yep. I'm gonna pause here as well. I'm at 170 now and feeling decent so far.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm typically at about 55% of where you're at. 55 to 60 of where you're at.
You'll increase that, I'm sure. There's going to be less difference, soon enough here. All right. Round 6 coming up. 2 more. 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Good. Nice shot. There you go. Good. All right. One last one. All right. How is your shoulder feeling? I know it was sore a bit in the beginning.
So far, so good.
Great. Well, we just got one more set here for it to be good on. 3, 2, 1, go for it.
Ah.
There we go. Nice job, man. Here you go. Last one. You did a little jerk at the end there. You know the difference, right? Like when you kind of come down with your knees and rebend, that's what a jerk is. Are you gonna do an extra one for extra credit?
Yeah.
Good. Nice. Perfect. Okay, great. So, assuming also most people are finished up with that as well, or finishing up. Excellent job. So, Sid, we are done with the bar for today. So you can, if you want to, you can either stay here, or you can kind of migrate over to the dumbbell location, because for the WOD itself, the Metcon, we're going to do basically thrusters with dumbbells and then burpees. So those are the only two movements that we need. So
Dumbbell thrusters
for
and
everyone,
burpees. Okay. I'm going to shut this bar
yes,
down then.
exactly, yeah. Give someone else the space,
Okay.
and we'll break down our weights. And so for anyone else who's joining, we're going to grab some. So the weight, the kind of prescribed weight, so to speak, is, if you care, is 35 for men. For women, dumbbells, 2 of them. So I'll be doing 35. But you know, do basically whatever you feel like is appropriate for you. But what we should see is that these are light enough where you can really cycle through them quickly. This is intended, you know, these 30 seconds, especially the first few rounds of 30 seconds, we really should be doing them to whatever extent we can, just kind of cranking through them for the full 30 seconds.
So,
does that make sense,
what weight
Sid?
do you think I should grab?
So for you, I would say let's try 20s off the bat and see how that feels.
So I'm going to set the phone up like this.
Okay, cool.
I'd like you to tell me what you think.
If I can see it. Okay. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, that should be good. If you're able to stand a little bit further back, you know, to whatever extent you can. Okay. Sid's eventually going to get a tripod, so this should be these kind of technical things should be a little bit easier in the future. So thank you everyone for bearing with us. But while we're doing that, yeah, that looks good, Sid. So, you know, for a reminder, basically what a thruster is exactly what we just did, except in this case we're going to use dumbbells. And then instead of just a quick shallow dip and drive like a push press, we're going to go all the way down into a full squat. Okay, so full squat, all the way down, all the way up. Okay, so that is a thruster. Good. Yeah, Sid, that looks good to me. This is gonna be hard, I know, but that looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this set up as well. Where are we at? Actually, I'd forgotten to. Here we go. All right, cool. We're gonna adapt this one. Sorry, I had forgotten actually to set this thing up really quickly. So 30 seconds of thrusters, 30 seconds of burpees, and then 30 seconds of rest for 7 rounds. Of course, this cool. All right. So this should be basically a 10-minute workout. We got it going here. So this actually should say. Interesting. Oh, is there? Oh, here we go. Rest between sets. I'm just gonna say 0 because I already have that baked in. Cool. All right. So now this is good. Okay. We've got this set up. We'll have a 10-second warm up or 10-second kind of getting ready, and then we'll go for it. Does the workout make sense to you, Sid?
Mm-hmm.
We got 30 seconds of thrusters, 30 seconds of burpees, chest to deck, and then we're going to finish the burpee where we slightly jump overhead and then clap the hands overhead as well. So it doesn't matter if it's like a clap like this or just touching the hands. It's not relevant. But as long as we connect the hands at the top and are at the same time as our feet are off the ground, it counts. So we're going to also try to count our reps here. So I'm going to be keeping track each round of how many I do. And there is no difference between burpees and thrusters. We're going to count them all as 1. So 1 rep for each of them. And then the total score is how many cumulative we get done in 7 minutes or 7 rounds. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And I'm going to get this guy out of here. And in case we forget halfway through, we now have this here. So we'll see what this looks like. You can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So getting set in 10 seconds. It only looks dark like this for the first little bit here. So, okay, 3, 2, 1, and go for it. And switch to burpees. Three, 2, 1, rest 3 seconds. For whatever reason, this time isn't coming through. Okay, 11 seconds. 3, 2, 1, thrusters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Switch. Burpees. Time. The sound's not coming through. Really don't like that because I don't like counting. Okay, 10 seconds. Round 3 coming up. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Switch. Three seconds. Switch. Or rest, I guess. Nice. All right. Nice job. 3 rounds done. Getting spicy, eh?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go for it. Switch. And switch. Rest. Nice job, man. 3 more rounds. We are over half done. Well, we're not almost. 5 seconds. And go. And switch. Three seconds. All right, time. All right, 2 more. Nice job. And go. Two, one, switch. Rest. Okay, one more. Let's go hard on this one. Okay. 5, 4, 3. Go for it. Switch. Switch. Or I guess time. Good.
Holy shit.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Good work. Do you keep track of your reps at all?
Yeah. Sorta.
You did. Nice.
It's like 8 to 10 on the thrusters, 10 for the first part, 8 for the last couple, and then averaged about 5 on the burpees in the end.
Cool.
So like 40 and
Yeah.
40 and 70. 70 and 40.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And the next time we can, when you get like a whiteboard or whatever, keep track of it. Like,
Yeah,
it's easy to.
properly.
Yeah. I did.
How'd you
Here
get?
on the side. Oh, I'll have to add them up. So, all right, carry the math. 10, 10, 10, 31, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 111.
Nice. Wow.
So, yeah, pretty happy with that. Cool. That was really good. And hooray. Our live stream is only at 55 minutes. So I kept us within my goal of an hour. So what I'd like to do is spend the last few minutes. If you need to put back your weight or whatever, go for it. Sid, you don't have access to the bar anymore. So if you can, basically, what I would suggest doing is getting a bench. We can just do a couch stretch at the end here.
I do have the bar. No one's using it.
Oh, you do? Okay, great. So what I would suggest that we do even before we use a bar is just go line up at a bench, basically put one leg up on it into a kneeling position, and then basically squeeze the glute, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I think you can see that, right? I'll angle the camera a bit down. Cool. So, and we're gonna just spend about a minute or so on each side here. This thrusters and burpees is pretty quad-tastic. It's both quads and shoulders, so you don't really get a break. So what I was going to suggest is we do a minute or so of couch stretch on either side, and then we do just a bit of a shoulder stretch or shoulder kind of, anterior deltoid kind of mobility thing with the lacrosse ball. So yeah.
Cool. You won't be able to see me too much.
There you go. Yeah, it's okay. You don't need. It's fine. The important part is we're squeezing our back glute here. So as we're doing this, squeeze the glute where you have the leg that's up on the bench. That's going to allow you to really feel this stretch in not only the quads, but also the hip flexors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if you want, because we can't see you, if you want to turn your camera off, that's fine as well. I don't know if,
Cool.
Cool. And then when everyone's ready, if you feel like you've been at it for about a minute or so, or a minute and a half on one side, you can feel free to switch up to the other side. Pretty soon here, I'm also going to create as soon as I get back, I've got about a week of travel here. I've got a launch for Ample coming up with our new recovery product for, basically athletes, post-workout meal. But after that happens, I'm going to set us up on SugarWOD so that we can see these workouts in advance. And so when you're on this, either online or sit here, we can keep track of our workouts and post our scores so that it's a good workout log. It's important to be able to see where you're at so that you know how much weight you can do, and makes things a lot easier moving forward when you know, for instance, what is my 1 rep max on a push press, therefore how much should I do on a 3x7 or 7x3, for instance. So we'll have that as well. Cool. The last thing, if we have time for it, is if you have a bar or if you have a lacrosse ball, I would highly suggest working out these anterior deltoids. I'll actually do a bar for this myself because I'm going to be too slippery with a ball. But our anterior deltoids are likely pretty smashed from those two movements. So I would suggest that we basically get a bar or a ball and just work this out for about a minute or so on each side. It's going to help us reduce soreness tomorrow, and should allow us as well to get a better workout in the following day. A lot of these post-workout type of things are not really they're about setting yourself up for success the next time you work out, so that you don't have to take 3 days of rest between each workout, and instead you can kind of get right back at it. Or if you want to take a 3-day rest, great, but you don't have to, and you're going to feel good on those 3 days rather than sore for those 3 days. Cool. And then go ahead and switch sides. Once you're done with that, I guess we'll just call it a wrap. So I'm going to finish this up for posterity, though. Great job, everyone who's joining. Yeah, hopefully as well get some of these bugs, these kinks out. Sid being, for instance, in a different gym that has a little bit more kind of stability and all the equipment is around him. And for myself, getting the audio set up and then better way for tracking, I think should be, and then also the audio in terms of music. So we should be able to have music in the future and not have to just listen to our breathing. So those are fun things to look forward to. Cool. And with that, I think we'll adjourn. Thanks everyone for joining today.
Hey, Connor. Thanks, buddy. I just finished up.